Hi, I'm thrilled to be live on our Instagram. This is our very first live, and I have a very exciting guest appearing on our live any moment now. And the reason we've decided to do this live is because we want to share some of the insights of what it's like as a working parent, as a business owner, and yeah, some of the challenges that we all overcome, and we all have to juggle sometimes as a working parent. I'm founder of the Creation Station, Sarah Cressall, and I've been very fortunate to run a business that is highly aligned to my own personal values and, yeah, what gets me out of bed, making a difference, empowering others, adding value. And so I'm thrilled to invite this amazing woman. Jenni is coming. Say hello to Jenni. Down, Jenni. I think we can do this. We're very creative at Creation Station, so tech doesn't always work, but I think I've invited you, Jenni. Are you here?
I'm here.
Oh, we're doing it.
We did it. How are you?
Really well. Oh, I'm thrilled. Thank you for showing me how to do this and being part of this this first live for us.
No, we need to do this more. This is good fun.
It's really good fun. So I popped up the title, Working Parents.
Yeah.
I go really northern when I say that, don't I? Working parents. Because we were just saying, you're a working parent, you've got 3 kids. So yeah, share a little bit about that. Maybe some tips that you found helpful to manage that work and career. But maybe we introduce you. Do you want to introduce yourself? That'd be great.
From Daisy First Aid. I'm the CEO and founder. So we've been in business for 10 years. 10 years in September. So not quite as long as you, Sarah. How long have you been in business now?
The first 22 with Creation Station.
Yeah, amazing.
Station. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I think Working Parents is a good title, isn't it? Because everybody, once you have children, and you need to earn an income. Working parents, is it possible? Can we do it? Can we juggle it? Do we need to pay for childcare? It's all of those questions that suddenly come up and people go, I have no idea. Or they find that they're paying so much for childcare that they're working is, they're just working to pay for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and also you forget, or certainly I did, I'm sure I'm not the only one, you forget to even put yourself in the pile. You're at the bottom. You just don't prioritise yourself at all.
100%.
You're looking after everyone else, aren't you?
Yeah. See, I was working full time when I had my first 2 children, and I was a police officer. So I was juggling shifts. Now my husband would do one lot of shifts, and then I would do the opposite shifts. So we'd be like hi and bye. He'd be coming like that, and it was terrible for a work-life balance. Really terrible. But it meant we didn't have to pay for childcare. But it got to a point and we were like, this is just not working. Like we don't even have a marriage. We can't even have a day trip together. And I think that's, an ongoing problem with lots of families, certainly in the early days. But so how did you decide to launch Creation Station? Was it something that you wanted to do around your family?
It was. I did Operation Rally in my 20s, and I was given the opportunity, I went to Zimbabwe, and I was given the opportunity to support women to run their own arts and crafts cooperative. And I was like, I'd always been a maker, always made stuff. Wouldn't it be amazing to support women to run their own business? So I went back to London, quit my catering management job, and started ran my own little creative business, thinking how I could spearhead management and creativity. So I did that. I was making and ended up running workshops for lots of different people with disabilities and all sorts of organisations. And then when I had the kids, I was in a wheelchair for a couple of years. And I went to all these classes, and somebody said to me, there's loads of music, there's loads of gym, but there's nothing creative. And I was like, oh, that's it. And I was able to spearhead that real passion and deep-rooted value of making a difference with my business, with my creative energy. And, let's be honest, the most important thing on our lives, prioritizing the top of the tree, your family, and being fortunate enough to be a parent, putting those kids and my husband at the top and working everything around them. So it felt like a bit like I've got my cake and I'm eating it. But with that was a lot of work, working in the evenings, getting up even before the kids. And so that was kind of my drive. And I'm incredibly proud that I've been able to keep the kids at the top, keep the kids and Duncan at the top. Because there's a lot of things that knock you off, isn't there?
Oh yeah, life challenges.
All the time. All the time. So tell me about how you went, being a copper, and how did you end up doing what you do? It's quite different, isn't it?
Totally. So I was in Starbucks with my friend Kirsty, and she had her toddler in a high chair, and I had my toddler in a high chair, and I was pregnant with my third, and her daughter started to choke. So they were both sharing. We broken the cookie, half to mine, half to hers, and her daughter started to choke, and she didn't know what to do. And being in the police, I was detective sergeant at the time. I was managing a serious violence team, but I'd always done first aid, and I loved first aid, and I was one that really got involved in the course. I was always the one person that got stuck in. If someone was ill or injured, I was always first there. It was just that type of person. Anyway, I knew what to do. She didn't. I very quickly, very successfully removed the cookie from her throat. Her daughter made a full recovery very, very quickly. So it was dramatic for about 10 seconds, but it was dramatic enough for my friend to be like, oh my God, I had no idea what to do. So I went home to Chris and said, why don't parents know this stuff? Like, we do all these amazing classes, but actually if our child stops breathing or chokes or shows signs of, an injury, illness, why don't we know? So I just did a bit of research, and obviously there's amazing first aid organisations that do great work, but there wasn't anything, just small, simple stuff for parents. So being about to go on statutory maternity leave, I was like, I'm going to teach my local village. It's not a village, it's a town really. I'm going to teach a couple of the parents and see what happens. So I just did that, like the most basic website, GoDaddy, did it all myself. It was super bad. Put a Facebook post on, but it was back in the days where Facebook was really good for advertising and you didn't have to pay for it. And I got 2 people booked on. They both paid £25, so 50 quid. And then I invited 6 of my friends with their babies to come along to make it look busy. I'd known that I'd earned this 50 quid just by doing 2 hours work and doing something that could potentially help them save their life or their child's life. And that was 10 years ago. So so now we're fast forwarding, and now we have lots and lots of franchisees doing exactly that, earning lots more than 50 quid, but essentially doing that role now.
Wow. Really,
yeah.
really, Jenny.
Yeah.
And like you, we've got Creation Station franchise partners as well, and to be able to empower other women, we have great blokes as well, we have some companies, but predominantly to empower women to take control of their work-life balance, to be able to make a difference to other people in their community, and to prioritize themselves. And we've got franchisees sometimes when they join, and sometimes they've been at a crossroads in their life, that maybe they've been a bit browbeaten in their old job, they've often lost a little bit of confidence, and to see them grow and just shine in what the amazing work that they do and the amazing reviews that they get, it's just wonderful. From a growth and development point of view, seeing really talented women absolutely shine whilst juggling everything else, but they're doing such an amazing job. It's a real heart moving feeling for me.
So what we're saying is, it is possible to have children, have a business, do something that you love, give value, earn a living, and have a really good life all in one. And it's possible.
Because obviously, including the men, but because we're women, we do amazing things. Guys do as well, dads do as well, but I just think women often take the brunt of everything being piled on them, especially for single mums as well. They often have an awful lot to juggle, and being able to prioritize your own personal needs. I think in order to do that, you need to know what it is that you want, because it doesn't just magically appear on your door. I think you have to know what it is that's important to you, and then work out how you might not be able to get there, straight away, but put some milestones in place to get you closer and closer to the type of life that you want to live.
It's that whole kind of put your own mask on first, isn't it? You look after yourself first, then you're perfectly capable of looking after everybody else. But look after yourself first.
Look after yourself first. How do you look after yourself, Jenni?
Do you know, I love my dog walks. That is like my absolute sanity.
Yeah.
I like to go on my own. I like to put my earphones in. I quite like listening to, I listen to books, sometimes just like random books, sometimes a thriller, sometimes a romance, but sometimes a bit of educational, whatever I fancy. It's just like my time. And I think that regardless of if we're busy running houses and children and businesses, you have to find that time. And it doesn't even need to be a dog walk. It doesn't need to be anything fancy like a spa day. It just needs to be somewhere. Go and have a bath or a shower, or somewhere where you can just be in your own thoughts and just be you for even 10 minutes. Just be. It's so important because we're so busy, and and there's so much pressure on us to be perfect and to do things all at once. So I definitely take a breath. I definitely check in with myself every single day. If I'm not feeling great, then I ask myself, why am I not feeling great? What's going on with me today? Is it something I can change? If so, how do I change it? If I can't change it, then don't worry about it. Can't change it. It's that just mindfulness and being present. What about you?
I love that. That reminds me, I think it's called the Serenity Prayer. Accept the things you cannot change the things you can, and recognize the difference. Because we sometimes bat head against a wall, and it's a bit like worry. I think as soon as we become a parent, whether we like it or not, it comes with a little package of worry. Because you don't know if you're doing the best and la la la. But if you can't change it, let it go. It's interesting that you mentioned breath, because in terms of how I manage, I can't remember, what was the question? How we manage
your own well-being.
Your own well-being. I think it's what I like at the moment is there are conversations about mental health. Like for years, it never even occurred to me that mental health, like physical health, was something that we have to work on. It's not. It just doesn't happen. Good mental health doesn't mean you're having a breakdown. It means you're managing your health and well-being. And like you, I got a dog in lockdown. Best thing I've ever done. Well, I've lots of great things, but I love Luna because my kids also left home at that time. Freedom, get a dog. So I'm up early in the morning. I run with her, do the walk twice a day. And a bit like you, I either listen to, I don't give myself any pressure as to what I'm going to listen to. I think I'll just see how I feel. Sometimes I just listen to nature. Sometimes I listen to some really interesting podcasts, an audio book. Sometimes I'll make a phone call and just chat to a friend or chat to a franchisee or all sorts of things. But I just see how I feel. Like you said, it's my time. I've also started swimming in the sea.
In the sea, you're so brave.
And my kids got me the most terrifying present. I'll talk about terrifying presents with Mamie in a minute. But something one of my kids gave me, actually, I don't know if this will come up because it's backwards. A book called Breath, Breath. And it's basically about breathing through your nose, not your mouth.
Yes.
It slows everything down. I highly recommend it. And it reduces, I've been tracking my heart rate when I'm running, when I'm breathing through my nose, which takes a bit of practice. My heart rate is dropping. And everything just feels so much more, more in control and calm. And when life is busy and people may not even find, the 5-10 minutes. I remember leaving the door open when I'm going to the loo because couldn't leave the kid, and then the postman opening the door at the same time. It's like, so, kind of parenting, isn't it? You just have to, but even taking a minute to breathe, just to slow it down, and try breathing through your nose, and just taking that moment.
Goodness, definitely. In fact, I actually suffered from a really, really serious fear of public speaking a few years ago. I would never have done this. Never would have stayed on stage. And I'm on stage like you are regularly now. But it all came down to learning to breathe. Because when you're nervous or when you're feeling anxious, that's when your brain just stops breathing and you panic, and that's when you get lightheaded and dizzy and all of those feelings. And learning to breathe properly transformed my life from any feelings of anxiousness, nervousness, panic attacks, fears. Everything came down to breath. Fascinating stuff.
It's powerful.
Very powerful.
Because when we stop doing it,
never good. That's when I come into play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's something that we is with us as long as we're alive, but we never think about it.
No,
it's been a real insight to me, and I got that from that idea from one of my kids, Ollie. And one of the lovely things about being a working parent, or just being a parent, is what your kids give you. We talk about looking after them, but when we give them the kids the space to experiment and fail and be themselves, and we're all unique. And I won't get on about our education system. We're very privileged to have an education system, and our teachers work incredibly hard, but it is a bit of a sausage machine. And we're all so different, especially at the moment with kids who've come through COVID and are really struggling with the whole social anxiety. One of the things I'm really passionate about at Creation Station is nurturing individual curiosity and talent, and bringing the best out of each and every one of us.
Yeah,
we're all different, and we don't need everyone exactly the same. We need diversity in our communities and talents, and everyone's got something that's in there. That's there.
Isn't that the beauty of life, though, and the beauty of people is like the difference in everybody. And I do love this whole neurodiversity chat, and I love that people are talking about it. But I mean, I've got a daughter who's ADHD and autistic, and she is fantastic. Oh my God, just a joy, an absolute joy. But I really dislike the label of disorder, because we never it as that, and it's certainly in our minds and in the minds of everyone that knows us knows that isn't a disorder. It's a bloody superpower. What it is.
Exactly.
I love the chat, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe it just needs to be renamed.
It's the wrong name, isn't it? Back in the day, in the war, I don't know when it stopped, but there used to be the word called invalid, which is invalid.
Oh, that's awful. I never even thought that.
I know. And I was doing some work with Goldman Sachs, and I was just thinking, if our language is so important as to the label and different ability and talents, and with AI, we've got the future might be we only work if we want to. So we need creatives, we need entertainment, we need if you think about it, a lot of people spend time on social media, graphics and imagery and video and script and ideas and performance. Creativity is a part of our sort of the landscape that hasn't been invested in. People love it. In our workshops, we don't get kids saying what we're going to do. They dive in. Even adult ones, they go, "Oh, I haven't done anything creative since I was at school," but they're in there, in their own way. And I think generally, I don't know what the official word for it is, but when you do something creative and you enjoy it, you get a fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, I haven't done anything creative for so long, Sarah.
Jenni, let's
and I used to love it, but yeah, I've fallen off the back, the creative wagon.
I made
The paint brushes back out, don't I?
depends. This morning I made 2 quick cards for my niece's 21st. I was like, oh, I haven't got time. I was like, oh, I have, and I mean, I was going to say they weren't particularly masterpieces, but it was more, I really enjoyed making them. Yeah. I've got sticky gems and but it's just a moment, a bit like breathing. It's a moment where you get into a flow, and it really doesn't matter what you create. It's the process of stopping and enjoying, and it doesn't matter what that is. It could be reading, it could be dance or music, or just even listening to music. It's just letting yourself be.
Yeah.
Circle to where we started.
Your mind off all of the daily stuff, and just get creative. Gorgeous. I love it.
Well, I think we've managed to chat randomly for at least 20. It's not the first time, is it, Jenny?
It's not the first time. It won't be the last.
Oh,
loved it.
We've had some lovely people join. Thank you ever so much for joining. We would both love to hear your comments, thoughts, any tips you've got for working parents to help us, not just get through the day, but enjoy the day. I don't know how long we've got here, and I think we just need to make each day as positive and enjoyable as we can.
Yeah, we just don't want to be on the treadmill of just going through the motions. Just enjoy today. Have a good one.
Have a good one. I've enjoyed it. I've already started this day really well, Jenny, talking to you. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Sarah.
And thank you to everyone listening. And now I have no idea how to end it, so I guess that's something.
I shall leave you be.
Yeah, cheers, Jelly. Take care. Bye.